Setting the pace of technology innovation are integrated circuit designers. How do these experts get their ideas? How do they keep fresh? These conversations were heard at the IEEE Symposium on VLSI, held each June in Kyoto or Honolulu.
A breakthrough, really the thing that sets up the breakthrough is a question. And that question, it gets posed to many different people around the world. It's not likely that any one person in the world alone is going to come up with a unique answer. It's typical, once a problem's posed, many people will come up with simultaneous solutions that are slightly different. And understanding those is key, because then you understand the trend of the industry of where it's headed, and it gives you some guidance on how to focus your research.
I think that conferences actually are some of the best places to get your ideas. The reason behind that is, one is you're away from the office and the interruptions, so you actually have some time to think. Two is there's people there to bounce ideas off of. And three, the various papers that are presented sort of stimulate you to think about, oh yeah, I might not really want to do it that way, but that sort of triggered me to think in a way that I haven't thought before.
But most of the time, idea generation is very hard and is something that happens in isolation. You read a great deal, so you converse via publications, via reading the literature. And I have to tell you that ever since IEEE Explore became available on my desktop, my reading is richer 100-fold. The ability to randomly search for ideas that are vaguely related and coming up with references on them on such a treasure trove of literature is really wonderful. So it is an isolated process, and you can search back 50 years and see how others have not only dealt with the question you have in mind, but with peripheral questions. You sort of dance around the new problem that you're up against in the hope of extracting some inspiration from something, if not direct, somewhat related. And that's how it develops. It's a painstaking process, and there is no guarantee that you will get something useful at the end.
Ideas for designs come from really usually when I'm not necessarily working on designs. A lot of times when my grad students and I are just talking, we start joking about other things, and kind of out of that conversation and laughing, some idea comes up that we never would have thought of.
Where do I get my design ideas? Going to conferences, talking to people, just thinking about problems, giving the students ideas and letting them run. They use their own creativity to come up with the ideas.
So it's this combination of having the time, the people around that are, your expert colleagues, and the intellectual environment of having research papers presented all at the same time. That's a very good way to get ideas.
Tech publishing is not just for academics. I see companies that want to attract the leading graduate students to their research divisions consider publishing at technology conferences.
Publishing a paper is an opportunity for the company to advertise itself and to show leadership in the industry. The people who look at the publications are students often, and when they see leadership from a company, that becomes the company they want to work for, because they see they're publishing good material and they're leaders in their area.
By sending employees to this conference, to those conferences, the firm can announce or advertise their technical achievement. The cost to send the employees to the conference is very, very small in comparison with the commercial advertisement costs. So by advertising or announcing a technical achievement to the public, the social reputation of the firm is leveled up. This is a big benefit to the firm.
A company like IBM, their customers, it could be foundry customers or chip customers or we're selling OEM chips to. They see the publications of IBM, and they'll look at us as leaders and would want to do business with us. So in terms of a business standpoint, publishing is very good. And also for smaller companies, it really, for a startup, getting a good publication at a major conference is like putting yourself on a map. It gives you credibility before maybe you have a product success out there. So I think publishing is key for companies to succeed.
The job description of IC designers is innovation. How these experts crank out creativity can be a hallmark of personal artistry.
Analog design is very much an individual and often a lonely pursuit. That is why we uphold it as very much a creative art, and analog designers in moments of lightness talk about a lot of the other designs, such as digital IC design, is sort of a herd animal mentality.
Analog design is like paintings by painter. This is because that style or design is reflected by person, very personal. So I understand to see the circuit, which person designed. Maybe this is made by Lazabi and this made by RBD. So very personal for designing the analog.
But we are very much individuals and people who think and construct models of the analog world and of circuits which are really our own, which are, come from the inside, and that is very similar to many of the other creative arts, which not in the sciences. So it's hard to see how this could be a group exercise or something which can be somehow shared completely. Now, of course, there is a group effort involved in execution and development, but the idea generation is often an individual pursuit.
And I think the groups are larger with digital designers, but the days of one person doing the single design in his room, and those are long over. All of these things are complicated enough that you need a variety of people working in it, not just doing the design, but understanding the technology, the testing of it, the reliability of it, what it's going to be like in the marketplace. And I think that most companies are trying to bring these ideas together in order to get the best kinds of products out.